My name is Ashley and thank you for clicking on my video. I'm a nurse currently working as an office nurse with a physician in a hospital. So if you want to hear more about how I got here, please stay tuned for the video. A little bit about me. First, actually, if you see any smoke coming from that area, it's fine. I'm just cooking dinner, so no worries. I've been a nurse for 7 years and I have worked everywhere from the sniff world, Jerry Psych, and I spent my last few years in rehab. So I'm a nurse scribe, and I explained a little bit about what I do in my previous video.
I round with her, I learn from her, I spend time with her. We actually ended up being besties, and so hopefully she'll come on my channel and you guys get to meet her because she's amazing. But this is about me right now, so let me go ahead and tell you guys my story.
I graduated from LVN school in 2012. I met my husband very shortly thereafter. Side story, I met my husband shortly after I graduated from nursing school. We met, moved in, and married all within 6 months. So if you guys want to hear the tea about that, let's get this video to 20 likes and I'll do a little side video about that whole situation. But about my nursing career. So as soon as I graduated from school, I'm
gonna throw this away and I'll be right back.
As soon as I graduated from nursing school, I studied for my NCLEX for about 2 weeks-ish. I took my NCLEX, it stopped in 75 questions, and then I started working that same day. Yeah, seriously. So I did my clinical rotation at a SNF, a lot of the clinical rotation, and I actually really loved the patients there, and the staff was really wonderful. And so the minute I passed my NCLEX, I went to that hospital or to the SNF and I asked if there was any applications available. And the director of nursing, shout out to her, she's awesome, called me into her office and said, "Oh, we're so excited to have you. So can you sit with us now?" And I said, "Sure." So I sat down and she started writing something down and she said, "This is what we can pay you." And then I was like, "Wait, is this an interview?" And she's like, "No, we're offering you the position." As soon as you walked in, the staff nurses were already fighting about which side you're gonna work on. So for those of you that are in nursing school right now, it's definitely important to make a good impression during your clinicals because they can always offer you a position. Then they asked me, "Can you start tonight? Because we need a night shift nurse." It was a little overwhelming, but I said yes. I was excited. I started the same night I got my NCLEX results. So that was in a SNF. Specifically, the side that I worked on was Jerry Psych. We had a lot of geriatric patients with psychiatric issues, and not only to include dementia, but schizophrenia, bipolar, etc. So needless to say, it was a night shift, and it was, whew. Did I become a nurse on that floor? There were 60 patients that I ended up having all to myself in a matter of maybe, I believe I trained about 4 to 5 days, and then they were all mine. So I had incredible CNAs. I cannot be more grateful to those CNAs. They really took care of me. They knew that it was my very first job, and I can never be more grateful for them. So yeah, that was my first job. I stayed there for about a year and some change, and then my husband got orders to go to Georgia. So we moved to Georgia, and I did not work in Georgia only because he was only supposed to be there for 6 months. He was doing a school out there, and we ended up staying there for almost a year. It was like something like 11 months. So I should have worked in Georgia, but I didn't. Then we got orders to Hawaii, and we spent about 4 years.
Still waiting on the plane. Okay.
So we spent about 4 years in Hawaii, and that is where I started working in the rehab world. I loved it. I mean, it's Hawaii. What's there not to love?
So the point is that I'm going to stop this right now, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so when I got to Hawaii, I actually didn't work for the first 2 years, I would say, mostly because I was having a great time. So I did do some PRN work. I would go and give vaccines for children. What else did I do? Some like assessments type of things, just very little PRN work, just to kind of keep my license going, for lack of a better word.
Or term, I don't know. But so yeah, I
got to Hawaii and I just wanted to explore and live my best life out there. I went back to work. I worked at a rehab there who also had a SNF side that I would occasionally work on, but the majority of the time I spent on the rehab unit. And in Hawaii, actually, it's really hard to land a job at the hospital, even RNs. We had our entire group that I would work with were RNs. I think I worked with one LVN that was a night shifter, but everyone else, even on the SNF side, they were RNs because it is so hard to get a job as a nurse in Hawaii, in a hospital anyway.
So, I digress. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so I was a nurse.
I worked primarily on their rehab side. It is a rehab and skilled nursing. I would do an occasional skilled nursing side when they were short, but mostly I stayed on the rehab side. So that is where I got my kind of passion for rehab, when I started to realize like the importance that rehab plays a part in someone who's been through a very tragic situation. We spent 4 years there. There I was going to school and I was working. So then we moved back to El Paso. Actually, I moved before my husband moved, so that's a whole other traumatic story for like a story time video if you guys want to hear it. But so I moved to El Paso and I started working at a rehab hospital. I actually applied for a scribe position. I did that because at the time I was extremely interested in being a physician, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity not only to shadow a physician but to get close and kind of pick their brain. When I applied though to this place, they had other things in mind, so I ended up being a lot more than a scribe at the hospital, and so they kind of, I'm a nurse scribe, so I had nursely duties still, however not bedside. So that is where I'm at now, and I work with a wonderful doctor. She is amazing and incredible.
And amazing and incredible. Did I say amazing and incredible?
Anyway, yeah, I've been there for about 1.5 years, and I love it there. I'm learning so much, and now my journey is coming to an end at the hospital because I am going to start my LVN to RN Bridge program, which I'm super excited for. It's an 8-month, super intense program, and so I'm not going to be working, but I'm excited to take you all on my journey and to chronicle what is happening through this crazy time. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. And again, if you want to hear the little story time, or if you want a story time video
about how I met, moved in, married, and then moved to a completely different state with my husband, all in less than 8 months, let's get this video to 20 likes.
And thank you again for clicking on my video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. I can answer them in the next video, or you can send me a message on Instagram at what_2_y. Bye.